Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This video is part 3 in Anastase the Night Elf Hunter. If you haven't seen 1 and 2 and want to check them out, I will put them up to the top right here in a playlist so you can do that. Other than that though, let's jump straight into it. So, if you remember, we have completed Shadowglen, where we were given an introduction to the Night Elves and their need for all things balance and all things nature. We journeyed out of Shadowglen and onto Dollanir, which is where we are right now. On our way there, we met into Sen Foulhoof, the non-suspicious Satyrs. We completed some quests in Dollanir and found out that the Gnarlpine are corrupted. Anastase also got an owl as a pet, named Bird, as you can see here. Do comment below if you have a suggestion for a name for a bird, because I know it isn't sadly the most creative, but it's all I could think of on the fly. No pun intended. So we will continue on with our quests anyway, and the closest one to me is Felcone. So we need to collect 3 Felcones, and this is for the quest Seek Redemption. This is after we let Felhoof kind of trick us into doing the quest for him. So Felhoof is Satyrs, and they are a race of bestial demons, usually linked to the Burning Legion. So those bad guys. They are actually created through the spreading of a curse. And that came from a highborn sorcerer who was destroyed and remade into a demonic form as punishment for his failures during the War of the Ancients. They mostly live in various groups now throughout Kalmador, and they absolutely hate the Night Elves. So this is why even Felhoof, when we were doing the quest for him, he was absolutely delighted. And he was even saying, "Oh, I can't believe I was able to get a Night Elf to do my bidding." So yet again, as a new player, you won't realise it, but from the start, Blizzard are letting you in to the lore of the game and letting you know what's actually going on with it. So like their ultimate goal, and it's kind of like what he had us do, is to corrupt the land and the creatures in it. So that's even why our own guys are kind of like, why did you do that? And he's lucky that they're only trying to trick him. I think a lot of the time they actually try to kill him, so honestly, he's actually coming out fairly alright on this one. Over now, and look, I'm over this direction anyway. I know I could have got the lift over, but it's so close when you're getting those Felcones anyway that may as well just come over. So don't make the mistake that I always do, which is all these Gnarlpine out here. I always kill them first. Now look, I have to, these guys are attacking me, but I would end up clearing all of these out here, because you have to get 20 of them, and then realise that I had to go inside anyway and kill them all over again. So don't make that mistake. They are the Gnarlpine tribe, are a group of corrupted furbogs. That's such a weird word. It is fur, F-U-R, and then it's B-O-L-G, bollock, furbollock. These guys, they were all actually peaceful, but they're being corrupted, as you can see, with them attacking us. But they used to live together with the Night Elves here. They all lived in the one area and they got on, which look, we know from the previous quests we were doing that they were saying they were going kind of mental anyway. But then this Barrow, this was actually a sacred place that was built by the Night Elves to hold what are the sleeping druids of Talon. Until obviously these guys took it over. So the Druids of Talon, look, it's like it says. They're a group of druids linked with the Guardians of Hyjal. Mount Hyjal, which is in this game now, was brought out in one of the expansions. It was just a refuge for what are called the wild gods. They are literally, as they say, they're manifestations of life and nature. There's a quest over here, so I'm just going to pick this up anyway while I'm over here. But there's so much lore, like it goes so deep. So we should have seen this coming. The corruption has been spreading for quite some time. So she's just here to help us along as well. And here we have Open Rageclaw, a sleeping druid. The Gnarlpine shaman that inhabit this place have discovered a way of separating a sleeping druid spirit from the physical body. The Furbolg have animated my physical form and are using it to attack anyone that attempts to explore the Banethil Barrow den. I'm now trapped in the Emerald Dream, powerless to stop this. You must help me. The Gnarlpine shaman carry a strange charm which is used to perform this ritual, and I'd like to examine it. Please, Anastase, bring one to me. So we just have to bring a shaman voodoo charm back to him. And he is clearly trapped here. So this place is a bit of a maze, quite honestly, and I'm more than likely going to get lost going around here, even though I have done this quite a few times now at this stage. I always get confused running around here, and I'm always going to. So those... It's a shame she doesn't have a name, actually. It would have been kind of nice if they had given her a name. But she is a Sential Huntress. So they're like the primary army of the Night Elves, basically. There's a lot of links back to this War of the Ancients. I suppose with Night Elves there is a few links to Ancients as well. But a lot of things seem to obviously have come from it. But they were founded in the years following it. And after the destruction of an old Kaldori empire. So remember, even our Shades of Kaldori, he's given us a history as to what actually happened before then. So realistically, it's an army. Like I said, it's just comprised of well-trained warriors. Now, they are often tied to the Sisterhood of Elune. So after the war with the Burning Legion, High Priestess Tyan the Whisperwind led the Night Elf race into rebuilding. It was a ruined society after it. But from that, and from trying to rebuild from the ranks of that Sisterhood of Elune, that is where these Sentials came from. And really, their duty was just to protect the new society that they were building. Now, that Sisterhood of Elune, we'll hear that a few times, especially anywhere to do with, say, Night Elves and Druids. Well, as the name says, they are just an order of priestesses dedicated to worshipping the moon goddess, Elune. It's kind of like in our own world, Luna, Lune, Elune. Elune is a moon goddess of a cosmic realm. Her sister is the Winter Queen. So that Winter Queen is linked to Saint Death. As with, I was saying earlier, the Night Elves and all of this kind of mystical stuff, it's all about balance. It's life and death. There's just balance everywhere, and especially, I suppose, this is why they're so linked to the Night Elves. On Azeroth, though, Elune would be known as the primary goddess for the Night Elves. So yeah, this is how it's all tied in together. It's all linked. It's so interesting from the start how much they are actually telling us and how deep this lore actually goes. There's so much involved in it. Now I have 2 of the relics anyway. I have 2 left to go. So black feather quill and the ruin of nesting. So there, I have the black feather quill now at least. So that's 1 more down and 1 more left to go. And I do have the hand in for the sleeping druid. So I was able to get that little symbol for him that he was looking for from the shamans. And he was talking about the Emerald Dream. And we've heard about the Emerald Dream a few times now at this stage. It has actually come up a few times. So realistically, all the Emerald Dream is, it is a spirit world. Obviously it's not part of the physical world like that, say, we're in now, that we're running around in the game now. It's a dream, it's a magical world. And that is where Izara lives. And yet again, we've heard that name as well. She is a dragon aspect. So the Emerald Dream, it's almost like how things could have been. Or like, you know, if things had gone well. I don't know even if that's the right description of it. But basically when I was reading up on it, they describe it as being like how the way like life should have been. Or what it would have been like if it hadn't been altered. So I think it's almost like the better version of how things maybe would have gone. I could be wrong with that. That's just what I kind of got from reading about it. But you can let me know if I'm wrong on that anyway. So I'm just going to get her to help me find the last one. And there's a mist. I didn't actually know that there was a mist. That is so helpful. Oh, I probably could have asked her the whole time. I just didn't want to bother asking her where everything was because I thought it was kind of being cool and doing it myself, but that is so handy. I did say at the start of this though, this whole place is a bit of a maze, so it's actually really good that they decided to bring that into it, I won't lie.
Inventory is full.
Oh, my inventory is full as well. But that is the last rune of nesting. So that is Relics of Awakening, ready to turn in as well. And thank you, Sential Huntress. I appreciate the help from the army. But they do look cool. They don't all look the same, but she does have that bluish hair. Now, we'll just go in, we'll hand in the quests I have, and we will then get back out of here.
I don't have a target. Be careful.
I shouldn't need her to lead me out anyway, but it's good to know that I have her there now in case I do need her to. And it's such a pain pulling these. I thought I'd get through the place fast enough that they'd all be dead when I was trying to come back up, but I kind of may have gotten a little bit lost trying to find that last one. I won't lie. As soon as I get back to that village as well, I need to sell. I don't remember this shaman being in here the last time. Maybe it's in case you didn't get them all, it's just to help you. If I can examine the charm, I may be able to figure out how to break the enchantment. Have you found one? Yes, I have. Thank you, Anastase. What an odd trinket this is. I can sense the vile aura emanating from it. This is a very powerful enchantment. After examining this charm, Anastase, I see now what must be done. Please take it and do as I ask. You are to approach the door to the nearby chamber. Inside you will find my soulless body. Although I regret what I'm about to tell you, I see no other way to free myself from the control of the Gnarlpine. In order for me to escape them, you must kill my physical form. Once that is done, use the voodoo charm on my fallen body. After you've completed this task, please return to me. So we have to kill the soulless body of Open Rageclaw.
I can't.
Oh no. I hate when the quest item actually takes up a bit of space in the bag. Most of the time it doesn't. Now I'll take it. Alright, let's go kill you, my friend. But it is for the greater good. The greater good. Okay, oh, and the door isn't locked anymore. And another shaman. This place is crawling with shamans. And there's Rageclaw, who is now wild shaped into a bear. I'm sorry, Rageclaw. I do feel kind of bad doing this, but you did ask me to, so it's kind of your own fault. And level 9. And I have a healing spell now, so that's always good to have. Exhilaration. And there. Hopefully I've broken the spell. Go back and find out anyway. I'm sure he'll tell me quick enough if I have or I haven't. I am finally free of the control of the Gnarlpine. Thank you, Anastase. My spirit may now rest peacefully forever in the Emerald Dream. Perhaps one day we will meet again, young hunter. But for now, please accept this reward as a symbol of my gratitude. Aww. Thank you, Open. I'm sorry. But at least now he can go to the Emerald Dream and rest easy. And like I was saying, the Emerald Dream is like a spirit world. It's a dream world. It is under the protection of Ysara. And I do think we come across her as a dragon a few times. I will admit though, I am very bad with names. I kind of picture her. And I'm sure we do come across her. But I couldn't actually tell you where at the same time. I'm also getting rid of that pet quest. I cannot be bothered doing it anymore. I'm going to go back now and I'm going to hand in. And then I will go up back to, well, towards that other, is it Starbreeze? Towards that other village anyway, and we'll get the Gnarlpine up there. And Ferocitus, the Dream Eater, who I'm assuming is also linked to the Emerald Dream. Woo! They're all linked. It's all linked to the Emerald Dream. But then again, look, the Emerald Dream is mentioned a lot in the game. Just for this time around, I decided to do a bit more research about everything and actually read into the lore of all these places. Because I know this is maybe my 10th time saying it in these episodes, but I have played through this so many times. And the stuff I'm telling you on these videos is stuff that I've researched myself. That I actually never even knew existed, I'll be honest. I didn't know half of this lore until I started reading about it. And it's so interesting. I just thought these were enemies. I didn't realise how they were so tied in with everything. And I had gotten into a terrible habit of flying through these quests as quickly as possible, trying to get to the highest level as quickly as I possibly can. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I've done that quite a lot. But this time around, I've decided I'm going to read through each quest just to see what I learn. And I didn't realise how much information they actually give you in them. Look, let me know in the comments below. Maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you don't like going through the quests, or maybe you prefer to see videos of me leveling up to the highest level as fast as I possibly can. And if you do, I can do videos on that. But especially I think for Anastasia's series, will I call it, for her videos, I'm going to put time and effort into actually reading about the history, the lore, and explaining it to you. But do let me know if you do like these kind of videos or not. And I can always make different ones then further on, but for the moment, let's just learn together. We all might learn things we don't know, and if you know things that I don't know, which that'll be quite a lot, comment below and let me know. Do you know lore about this place that I don't? Let me know. I love learning about it all. And honestly, I think I'm going to have to try to find a book on it at this stage because there is so much involved in it. And another thing, actually, speaking of the Emerald Dream now, just before I hand in, Zara, she is a green dragon. And if you see all these portals, there's always green dragons at them. That's because of her. I think they're almost in her image. It's so interesting. Really is.
My goods are of the
Now,
highest quality.
let's make some money, honey. And I'm going to sell some things and get some bag space. Get rid of all the greys. There's no point in having any of those greys. Slowly but surely we're making our way up to a gold. We'll get there. I'm level 9 now, so I know that
Good luck, friend.
the writing will be coming soon. So I can't even remember how much that is. I think it could actually be a couple of silver, it might not even be gold. I actually forgot to put on most of this gear too. May as well gear up now while we're at it. That's it, that's everything. So 2 hand-ins over here. We'll get them done.
I am honored.
Impressive. I hope my huntress carried her weight. If we continue with this fervour, we may yet still free Teldrassil from the corruption of Anastase herself could not burn out.
Farewell.
No problem, Star Song. And the Relics of Awakening. Anastase. The kidnapped druids of the Talon will be forever trapped in the Emerald Dream if we cannot retrieve the Relics of Awakening from Banethil Barrow then to the west. For every minute we delay, their fate comes one step closer to eternal doom. You have succeeded, young hunter. Well done. And just in time, I might add. So we get another bag. And it's a dream carrier. Ursul the Mauler. Now the time has come to save the druids of the Talon. If we fail now, Anastase, they will be forever lost in sleep. I shall prepare the Relics of Awakening and perform the ritual. For my work to take effect, the cursed beast responsible for this horrible situation must be slain. It was Ursul the Mauler who meddled with our brethren's calling, and it is Ursul the Mauler who must now pay, so they can be freed. Travel northwest on the road and find the path north in the cleft. Ursul's den will be there. So we need to kill Ursul the Mauler, and we just have a little... Well, we'll get a waste for it anyway, but we just have a little description about him. So, dreaded leader of the Naralpine Furbog, Ursul seems to defy death itself in his pursuit of further corruption Teldrassil. If the wilds are to be healed, Ursul must die.
Goodbye.
So, more balance, life and death. We must kill him so that life can continue. We're all about balance. And there is an ancient protector. And they are so cool looking. And I honestly think the ancients are so underrated in this game. And when I say underrated, I mean, it means, yet again, I've done some research. And I didn't know half of this about them, but I do know. So the ancients are, obviously they're extremely old because they're trees. So they're really old. They're full of wisdom. But they also keep all their memories. They remember everything. And they are all connected to one another through their roots. As with trees anyway, I suppose. Now, they look like normal trees. I mean, obviously he has eyes, he's walking around. A lot of the time, you wouldn't even notice them. They'd just be in the ground. But they are obviously very linked with animals and nature. But night elves and wisps, my favourite wisps, they would all be kind of connected to each other as well. Or how would you more so linked than not. They live for thousands of years, and they go and they protect but they all remember. They remember everything from their own their own ancestors and even themselves. It's so interesting. And back to our buddy. Hello, Zen, Foulhoof.
Now what?
What do you have for me, Anastase? A lovely snack, I presume. Tree Falcon.
Don't touch me!
What a sweet night elf. I knew you would come in handy. But that "don't touch me" is so funny. Don't touch me. Ribbit! No! This cannot Ribbit be. You've duped me with Ribbit. Your foul trickery, Ribbit. Sorry, Zen, but in all fairness, I thought I was coming over here to actually take you out with like a poison, so that's all that's happened to you. You've gotten off really lightly this time. Especially after everything we learned about what they actually are like earlier. Normally, the Night Elves would have taken him straight out. So, not too bad. What we'll do now is... Look, I know I could gather them. I'm going to just go down and we'll deal with the mystics. And we'll get the jewel back. That's Ferocitas. Ferocitas. The Dream Eater. Everything back to dreams. The Emerald Dream. Night Elves. Just so much lore in this place. Even like Zen. Like, I didn't read. Oh, level 10. Never mind. And we'll learn to ride. It's time for you to learn how to ride. Seek out Jartsam at the Cenoridian Enclave in Darnassus. Yeah, look, we'll go and get that anyway. Yet again, a few hard words in there. But I get Freeze and Trap. My pet gets a few more abilities. I'm gonna go... I think I'm gonna go with marksmanship, being honest. I kind of like only having one pet out at a time. I know with the Beast Mastery you can have two. Like I was kind of saying on the first episode, I kind of prefer maybe being by myself as well. I don't mind not having a pet. But at least one will do well for me. Oh yes, and the points. So let's see. So kill command. Concussive shot. Now concussive shot is always a nice one to have, especially if I'm going to go into PvP. So that will be one to remember. Kill shot. Yeah. Kill shot is a nice one too. I have kill shot, but that seems very PvP. Improved kill shot. Yeah, so actually I like the look of that. I must have kill shot. It's not on my action bar. Oh, yeah, look, there it is. So got that with level 10. So we'll put kill shot down. I will organise all these out. It's terribly organised at the moment. Well, yeah, we'll stick with improved. And there we go. So that is marksmanship picked. Thankfully though, these days, as I'm sure everyone is well aware, it doesn't really matter. You can swap out if you need to. I think especially it was a genius idea for classes with, you know, healing, tanking and DPS all in one. I mean, it used to be very hard back in the day for leveling if you decided to go as a healer. Because when you went as a healer, obviously then if you wanted to... Well, you could have maybe slightly DPS'd, but if you were a healer, you were a healer. That was it. You were not going to DPS. I mean, obviously you wouldn't be going tank either, but for leveling, you almost needed someone to DPS with you. You almost needed like someone else there to help you as well somewhat if you were in it. I mean, this is obviously I keep talking about it back in the day. So them changing it that you can swap between them is great. Go in and do your PvP or your raid heat and come back out and level as a DPS.
I don't have a target.
So yeah, it was really smart on their mark.
I need a target.
So that's 4 mystics down. We got the jewel as well. And 3 more to go. And Bird is still jumping in and helping. Fair play to him. He is earning his keep.
I need a target.
And 1 more left to go. And that'll be the Gnarlpine Mystics taken care of.
I don't have a target.
And they cast Rat, the druid. The druid spell. Oh yeah, no. Of course I pulled him again. Well, look. Ferocitus. No harm if we take you out again. May as well. Ferocitus. Does anyone else have as much trouble trying to pronounce these names as me? I never realised how bad it was until I started making these videos. And I started realising how... Like when you read them, they're fine. And you're like, yeah, that word is grand. I can say that. It's when you actually start having to say them out loud and into a microphone as well. It's not good. It's not good. So... thank you so much for bearing with me with the pronunciation on things. For anyone who's still sticking around watching these, that is. So back over for Handon. We still have Ursul the Mauler to deal with. Still need to go to Darnassus as well to give the recipe book for Sister Queen. And she's down near the Hippogriff Master, I believe, which is very handy. Thank you, Sister Queen, for chilling out by him so that we can fly up and down easily. I'm going to leave going to her till... obviously I'm ready to leave this area altogether. Handy will get a free flight there anyway instead of having to run, even though realistically half of the quests are probably going to bring me up there anyway. Oh, hello, Mr. Druid. So, I'm glad you're willing to atone for your mistakes. It speaks a great deal about your character. I have another task for you. I have gathered some ear root seeds. They are somewhat like fell cones, but quite a bit more potent. Nature often responds very negatively to demons, and these ear root seeds prompt a very concentrated form of that reprisal. To our north in Fellrock, there are Grelkin that are far beyond redemption. Use this ear root seed to root them before they become a more serious threat. So use the ear root seeds to kill 12 Grelkin in Fellrock. No problem, Blade Leaf. She is dealing out the retribution.
Greetings.
Well met, Anastase. It's good to see that hunters like you are taking an active part in protecting the groves. Of course. Ferocitus and the Gnarlpine Mystics must return what is mine. Please retrieve the emerald so that I can repair my emerald dreamcatcher.
Farewell.
Now I can repair my dreamcatcher. Thank you, Anastase.
Good luck. Friend.
I must warn you, Anastase. This matter must stay between us. The Satyrs are enough of an embarrassment to us already, and this one is much too close to home. He is called Lord Melanus. He resides in a nearby cave of Fellrock, to the north where he has gathered a large group of Grill warriors. His heart is as black as night, and he plots something most foul. You must find him within his nearby cave, just north of here, and bring me his head. Alright, so off with his head. None speak of the traitorous tale of Melanus, but his presence serves as a bitter embarrassing reminder that trust must be earned, not given freely. More punishment to deal out. So yet again, another busy day. A lot of ground covered. We have gone through some dens. We've gotten some dream catchers fixed. And Anastase continues on journeying, but with some new clothes. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, maybe give it a like and a subscribe if you like these kind of videos and you'd like to see more in the future. do let me know, or if there's anything else you'd like to see, you can let me know as well. But as always, thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!